Hey Dreamers, this is Aki and welcome back to a new video. Today we are gonna talk about Dream's future, especially the PS5 version of Dreams, what will be possible with it and what I would wish for. Before we get into the video though, it seems like a lot of you didn't get a notification for my last video and some others too, so feel free to check them out still. To get notified for upcoming videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. If you did that and it still didn't get notified, which seemed to be happen for a lot of people, that's something that YouTube does sometimes. It really sucks and I don't know why that is, but just to clarify, throughout November I'll most likely be uploading one video every Saturday afternoon BST time zone, just so you know. Also, an important disclaimer for this video, I do not have any information from Media Molecule or Sony, so everything in this video is just what I assume will be happening or what I would wish for as well. But there will be some interesting facts and explanation along the way. In the background you can already see some impressive visuals and graphics that were created in Dreams on a PS4, so just you can imagine what will be possible in Dreams on the much more powerful PS5. So first, quite some people were asking if there even is the Dreams PS5 version coming, and I don't understand why people even question this. The answer is clearly yes, and with yes, I don't mean a backwards compatibility version, no, I mean a real Dreams PS5 version. If you wonder why, that's because of a few reasons. The first one being that Dreams has a confirmed 10 years plan with Sony, meaning that Dreams will even go over to the PS6. After over 7 years of development work, it would just absolutely make no sense to stop at the PS4 while it's still being released just 1 year ago. Well, not even 1 year ago. With that being said, it is pretty clear that they will use the new hardware of the PS5 and the new power to also feature Dreams and its future. The second point is that when Alex on Twitter announced his retirement, he stated something really interesting, which is that for anyone worrying about Dreams, don't. What are on Dreams at the moment is gonna blow your minds, and that could pretty much be referred to the PS5 version in my opinion, since I don't seem to be thinking about anything else when it comes to this topic. What could blow our minds more than a crazy PS5 version with new features and what would be possible with it? Since also the multiplayer seems to be quite far, since they're still looking for 2 positions on having multiplayer in Dreams. And the third reason is that John was also stating on Twitter saying that this is still the very beginning of Dreams and that everyone at have been working super hard to make Dreams a better place for everyone, as well as they are always listening to the community, which is definitely great, and I really hope they're listening to this video right now as well. Now, that comes close to the topic of Dreams' future and things we all worry about, but I'll talk more about that later. For now, I want to talk about what's realistic for Dreams on a PlayStation 5 and what we can possibly expect. First, you need to understand how insanely powerful the PS5 really is. It is probably the biggest jump of a next generation that we've had so far, and that is because of a few major things that make big changes. We have the SSD and a much faster processing system to work with, which gives us almost no loading times at all, more FPS, hertz and a better solution. Now, what does that exactly mean for Dreams? With the hardware of the PS5, Dreams should be able to have improved performance, more FPS, also allowing more sculpts, paintings, spotlights and physical possibilities, since they are to me always the biggest limitation right now when it comes to creating in Dreams, and that is probably due to the limits of the hardware of the PS4. Now, with this, there could of course also be additional space to the overall thermo, which is probably the biggest wish of most people using Dreams. In the end, how much it will really improve will depend on what's possible with the bubble buff engine and how will be able to adapt it to the PS5's hardware in co-op with Sony, of course. Another one of the major features of the PS5, which really brings us to the next generation, is ray tracing, which pretty much allows games to correctly and realistically display light and how light breaks, meaning reflections, water, more natural colors with the lighting, and more. Now, I'm not a specialist when it comes to the technical side of these things, but in a discussion on Twitter, we figured that ray tracing could definitely be an option for Dreams. I really hope that is able to pull that off. Maybe that's what Alex referred to anyways, who knows. But just imagine, by already seeing the visuals in the background, if we get ray tracing for Dreams, the visuals would have absolutely no limits anymore. Photorealism would absolutely be possible, and Dreams would probably surprise the whole industry, reaching a new level that maybe no one even expected. Also, it would of course be insane, and one of my most anticipated features as well, to have real reflections, real looking water, and maybe even a real particle system. Next, I'm not really a fan of the whole console war thing and all the hatred coming with it, but there's one interesting thing someone recently said, and that is that there are 2 next-gen consoles coming, but only 1 next-gen controller. And that for me is definitely a big plus for PlayStation, since the DualSense 5 is also making huge steps when it comes to next generation. The DualSense 5 is focusing on haptic feedback, as Sony explains. You'll be able to feel it in your hands if you're walking on grass, dirt, water, or if it's like raining, you'll feel the raindrops, and if you pull a bow, you will feel its pressure. And that to me is absolutely insane, and I'm really looking forward to experiencing that alongside the 3D audio. That of course also is a very interesting topic when it comes to Dreams. We already know that is also focusing on using the possibilities of the controller, as we already have options to set the rumble etc. on the DS4. So I'm assuming they will love to use and play around with the haptic feedback of the DualSense 5, which would of course deliver even more amazing experiences in Dreams. Those, I feel like, are the major features when it comes to next generation, especially looking on Dreams. Now I would like to talk a little bit more about some of the features that I really hope make their way onto Dreams on PS5 or future Dreams updates in general. First, I would of course also love all of these things previously mentioned. It would definitely bring Dreams onto the next level, but now I want to talk about a few specific features. My most wanted feature is probably to have more flags, or even better, self-made or customizable flags. This would have insane advantages, mainly because we can use the flags we can choose in many different ways. But if we, for example, want a different grass, like this classic stylized grass from Unreal or Unity, like this one I'm showing you right now, we would need to draw it ourselves and clone it in Dreams. Now, there's no real problem with that, but we first can't use that on 3D stuff like we can with the pre-made flags, and second, we can't use effects like wave on them, so to actually bring it to life and make it movable, we need to make it physical. This goes for all self-made grass, flowers, foliage, and pretty much anything that we need to draw ourselves because of flag limitation. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with drawing flags myself, but the physical capabilities in Dreams is insanely small when it comes to physical paintings, and you will super quickly get to your limit, which is why the PS5 might be the perfect solution for that problem. But if we had, for example, this type of stylized grass as a new flag, we could just apply to any 3D and it would look amazing. This would also absolutely work with a flag specifically made for leaves of trees, flower flags, and more. Oh, how do we struggle with the leaves of trees? You always need to go with the splat or dots when it comes to leaf-like looking flags, but it just doesn't look right to me. Of course there are always options, but by now I think you see why I think that way and why it would be a big changer to the Dreams engine. The second feature I wish for is opacity for 3D sculpt or transparent 3D stuff. I talked about this with John before and he said it's almost impossible or a big struggle with how the engine works, which is very sad, but maybe, just maybe, there's an option for it with the new hardware and possibilities of the PS5. So far we need to pretty much fake it with paintings, text displays or super thin waxy stuff, which is of course just a workaround as quite a few things in Dreams. This is of course pretty much the same with reflections since we're just faking them. With real transparent 3D sculpts we could also create insanely amazing looking holograms, which would be incredible. A few other features I quickly want to mention here are real reflections, a real particle system, improved spotlights with real visible light rays, a less flaky fog, improved puppets and animations with them, and also a real 4-leg puppet preset as well as a winged puppet preset and real 2D layers for drawing. Now, some of you might be wondering if this doesn't completely divide the PS4 and the PS5 community using Dreams, and I say no. The easy solution for different generations is to exactly go with the same system as they do for VR. Give players the option to make creations PS4 compatible if they're using a PS5, and also clearly show creators in the termo, including FPS, when it's no longer playable for the PS4 players anymore. So creators who really want to push the Dreams engine have the option to go for it with the clear intention to make it PS5 only. But to be honest, I expect most active PlayStation players to have a PS5 within, let's say, a year anyways, which would close the gap of people not being able to play PS5 only creations more and more the more time passes. It would of course also, on Sony's side, motivate active Dreams players to get a PS5. Now, this is pretty much it for the new features that I expect and wish for Dreams on PlayStation 5. Now, let's talk a little bit more about its general future and what it needs to please the community and make it interesting for future players. The two major things here to me are clearly the upgraded PS5 version and the online multiplayer. I think those two things are kinda talking for themselves and would make the biggest change for sure. More things we definitely need changes on is the 15 seconds copyright thing with audio, which was also recently discussed on Twitter. It kinda completely holds back music artists and voice actors to work freely with Dreams and definitely needs some change there. Then, two major things we need in the Dreamiverse are 1. Profiles. It's probably one of my most disliked, I would almost say hated things that are part of the Dreamiverse since the very beginning, and that is that we can only really view all of our dozens, hundreds of creations in one freaking horizontal line. That must be the most annoying thing ever, and I have no idea why that is still a thing. I would rather have or prefer a system that allows us to have something like multiple layers or a gallery feature like Instagram or ArtStation, which would make our creations much more accessible, and we would also have a better overview over them. The other thing that needs some change is how the Dream Surfing section is displayed. There's not too much wrong about this, but the main problem is that it's not always easy to find the great original stuff rather than the annoying memes and copyright stuff. The best example for this is the section that I use the most personally, which is the Top Dreams of the Month section. This section displays the most thumbed up stuff of the last 30 days, which is great to find a lot of amazing stuff that came out this month, but what I absolutely hate is that every third creation is a freaking meme or some bad remake of Mario or Sonic or whatever. I do understand that there seem to be quite a lot of people enjoying these memes and dreams, but for people like me who have no interest in them at all, would rather try to find the original stuff, it's just insanely annoying and kinda puts attention away of the effort that people put into the original stuff, and sometimes a lot of them even get overlooked because of that. And in my opinion, there's a really simple solution for that, which I don't really understand why this isn't already the case, and that is to make 2 more own sections, one for memes, and there will be all the memes, only memes, which would make it a better place for people who really like them and enjoy them, so they have their own space there. And the other one is for remake and copyright stuff. I would also make people need to choose when they publish something, if it's something original, a remake / copyright kind of thing, or a meme. In that way we have it sorted, and of course there will also be still some people doing it wrong, but you definitely need to have at least one person at overlooking the Dreamiverse anyways. Let's say, let's call it the Dreamiverse police, which is looking that everything's going alright. And with that, I'm pretty sure that the Dreamiverse overall would be a much better place for everyone using dreams, which is really important, since I know a lot of you are worried about dreams, are not satisfied with how the Dreamiverse is going right now or how it's looking right now. And that's why I really hope you guys at Media Molecule are listening to this video as well. I think I gave you some nice tips or solutions for some of the problems and maybe some ideas as well. Everyone in the comments or watching this video or on Twitter or wherever, feel free to join this talk here or this call and tell me your ideas, tell me your thoughts and what you thought about this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, some feedback, and also make sure to share it with others. And yeah, if you're not part of the channel yet, definitely make sure to subscribe for more dreams, more art, tutorials, guides, and community highlights. And also ring that bell to not miss out on future videos. I'll see you in the next one.